So hi guys, Vishesh Tripathi this side from the Android as the Android Co-Lead from the GDSC core team. In this video, we would be looking at Kotlin, what things you can do with Kotlin, why you need to choose Kotlin, and how you can start your journey as an Android developer in Kotlin as the main language. So as Kotlin has become the official language by Google of Android development, there are plenty of things we need to talk about. So now we would be starting off how you can install Kotlin on your local machine and start using it, or if you don't want to use it in your local machine, you can even use it in your web browser. So let's get started. So now we would be talking about Kotlin. What is Kotlin? Kotlin is a language which is built on the basis of the syntax of Python and some power of Java. You can imagine something like this. You can even see some memes which are based on Java plus Python is equals to Kotlin. Even though that's not true, but if you start using Kotlin, you would realize that, because as a machine learning engineer and an Android developer, I have realized few things which make Kotlin a very special language. It has got power of both Java and Python, which are the most strongest language of all time. Now, if you see, why would you like to use Kotlin? Because it's more expressive and concise, as mentioned on the website, the safer code, interoperable, and the structured concurrency. These are the four reasons you would like to use Kotlin. And believe me, Kotlin is much easier to write than Java. No syntax problems occur in Kotlin. You don't need to put colon after every statement like Java, and you don't need that. You don't need to write that whole system.out.println like Java. You just simply need to write println like Python, and you're good to go. We will be talking about Kotlin basics in detail in the upcoming video only. So let's see who uses Kotlin in nowadays. You can see tons of apps which you use every day uses Kotlin as their main language in Android applications. Some of them are Slack, LiveIt, and the American Express app, Expedia, Netflix, Kindle, Pinterest, and some more applications like Twitter also use, and Reddit use Kotlin only. So yeah, this is how there are tons of resources available officially by Google and Android developers to make you learn Kotlin and start using Kotlin as your main language in Android development. This Kotlin flow and live data with core routines is the most important part. Now you can see, if you are watching from India, which I suppose you are, Kotlin helped Zomato reduce the number of lines in their app significantly, as written here. You know, they started using Kotlin as their main language in their application. They must be using Java initially, but believe me, Kotlin reduces the amount of power and the amount of code that you're writing so much that you can't even imagine at the first place. So I would recommend you to start using Kotlin and switch and upgrade yourself instead of Java, because the future of Android development is on Kotlin. So yeah, now suppose you want to start using Kotlin on your local machine. There are two ways to directly use Kotlin as your main language for writing some data structure algorithms or using some basic things. Uh, you can't directly use the functions of Kotlin in Android Studio, because that is made for building applications, not running Kotlin. So either you install Visual Studio Code in your local device and install the Kotlin extension in that. I hope you all are familiar with Visual Studio Code. And the second thing is IntelliJ IDEA. The same company who collaborated with Google to build Android Studio also owns a project known as IntelliJ IDEA, which is really an awesome application. The deep intelligence and out-of-the-box experience provides you the best application methods. So you can install it and directly start using Kotlin. It's not only made for Kotlin, actually it's made for Java virtual machine. So you already know that Kotlin works on the power of Java. The backend part works on Java only. So you can install IntelliJ IDEA or Visual Studio Code and start using Kotlin on your local machine. Let's get right into it. This is a Kotlin Playground. So for using Kotlin Playground, simply write Kotlin Playground, and you can see Kotlin Playground is available for you. This is play.kotlinlang.org. So for now I would close it, and now you must be you thinking that, is Kotlin only available for Android development? I am a competitive programmer, and I want to use Kotlin there also. So there is a competition known as Kotlin Heroes, organized by Code Forces and JetBrains. And if any competition which is organized on Code Forces platform, you can just imagine how big the fan base of Kotlin must be. There are 8 episodes till now, and one was an ICPC round, the international competitive programming competition. Just imagine. So you can participate in Kotlin Heroes and you would get rewards for that. This is the official website, and if you are in the top 3, would get some money prizes, and if you are in the top 50, you would get a Kotlin t-shirt, and the lucky draw happens if you get to solve a single question, and you can win a lot of prizes on Kotlin Heroes. So I would recommend you to start learning Kotlin and enjoy the power of Kotlin language and start competing in Kotlin Heroes and win some awesome prizes and make it a part of the DSA and Kotlin both strong. It would give you not advantages only in Android development but also in the problem solving part. So this was it from my side on Kotlin extensions. Now coming to the syntaxes and what Kotlin is. So this is the main website play.kotlinlang.org. As I already said in the video, this link would be available in the description section, so you can directly go and play here. I would just run this code, and this is println hello world, and it's printing that only. Now suppose you want to see what other Kotlin can do. In Kotlin there is basically two things. First is val and then other is var. So what is the difference between both of them? In val you can define anything and change it afterwards, but in value that cannot be happened. Suppose I have written a function var and I have used int and it's given as 1, and you can simply in future go and change var a to 3. It's possible, but suppose you have written it as val, this cannot happen then, because val doesn't allow you to make changes but var allows you to make changes. So just remember this, and suppose you want to add two things. For now I would just remove all this, and val, that is b, is also double. This is how you define things, and that is 3, and simply print ln, and I would do a plus b, and I would just run this code, and as you can see there is an error. Now just tell me what is the error. There is a very simple error because this is 3 and if it should be int. This is the error. Now if I run this, let's see what's the result. It's 4.4. So this is how things work here. Now suppose I put this as int and I again do this at 1 and I simply run 4. So this is how you define variables using val and var in Kotlin. You define int, double, float, whatever you are using afterwards after defining what kind of variable it is. It is a changeable or non-changeable, reassignable or non-reassignable variable. Now coming to the next part, suppose you want to define a class in Kotlin. How do you define a class in Kotlin? So for defining a class, you just need to write class, and suppose let that be rectangle, and let there be variable height because we want to change it, and let that be a variable length, and I would just define length, and they both would be double. So for double I would simply write double, and similarly I would also write double here, and I would define my class here. This is how you define a class. Don't you think it's really simple? And further, variable perimeter would be equals to, okay, I am wrong spellings, and I would simply write height plus length, some basic mathematics, multiplied by 2. And this is how you define the class. You're good to go, and you just need to define all the parameters here, height and length, and you're good to go with the class part. So this was it in the class part. Now this is the constructor part also comes in here, but I guess if you have studied some basic syntax and basic things in Java, you know what I'm talking about. So now we would be talking about the string templates. So for the string templates, we would define a string as variable a, string is equals to whatever it is. No, that's not how you define a string. For defining string, not like Java. In Java, what you used to do, you like to write string as hi, my name is Vishesh. This is how you define something bit different here. Simply write val. Good to go. You have write val, and let that be s1, and hi, my name is Vishesh, and I would simply print ln s1, and I would just run this code. Hi, my name is Vijay. This is how it prints. So yeah, it's really easy here, just like Java. Now suppose you want to use some conditional expressions, because if and else are the two part which are, I guess, used by every developer. So that let that be fun max. Yeah, you defined fun here. This is how you define a function using fun. In Java you would write public static void or static void, something like that. Nothing like that here. Simply go for it. And max of, so I would write a, which is int, and I would also write b, which is also int. And after that I would start my brackets, and I would write if a is greater than b, simply return a. If else, I would return b. Don't you find it really similar, except the fact that you are using no semicolons here? It's like you are using the power of Java but with the syntax of Python, something like that. So for now, this is how you use the conditional expressions. And let's look at loops, because loops are really important. I would define items like that list of. This is how you put a list in Kotlin. Let that be apple, let that be banana. I like fruits a lot, and that is the reason I'm using this list. And I would use watermelon, let's say. And we're good to go. And now I would write for item in items, for items in items. You don't if it was in Java, I guess you would write something like this: for int I is equals to 0, I is less than something like this. Or you would have said, if it was a string expression, for string s in items system.out.println s, something like this. But in this you don't need to do things. Simply write for items in item in items, which is sounds really correct to the English part. You can connect yourself to the language using the English syntax it is using, and simply write println item. And I would just simply run this code, and you can see, if I want, I could have write print directly and things would have messed up at that place. Apple, banana, watermelon in a single line. You can add this, and I guess there would be a apple, banana, watermelon. So yeah, this is how for loop works here. Similarly, I guess you get the idea of while loop also. So suppose you want to look at ranges, how ranges work. Suppose you want to check if a number is written within a range using the in operator. There is an operator called in here. So I would write val x equals to 10, and I would write val y is equals to 9, and I would write if x is in y to y plus 1. Sorry for that. If this happens, then print ln fits in range. What is happening? You define a variable x and you define a variable y. Now you want to check, is x in y2, is this variable x present in y in this within this range? And for that you would be checking 1 to y plus 1, that is starting from 1 to 10. You would be checking like that. You would be checking from 1 to 10, and I guess, yeah. And for x in y plus 1 gives you the answer. So I would just run this code. Fits in range. Now suppose this was something 3, what would have happened then? Fits in range. And what if this was 13? I guess nothing would be printed that time. Yeah, nothing comes as an answer. So yeah, this is how ranges also work in Kotlin. So it's really not that hard. You just need to look at some documentations in the beginning stages, and you would be really easy to go. For that, I would recommend you some documentations of Kotlin. If you want to learn Kotlin, this is it. You can go here and see how to get started with Kotlin. Try Kotlin online, and you can learn Kotlin, the fundamentals from very basic concepts, multi-platform programming, and the standard libraries, the official libraries, the API references, the tools, learning materials, other resources. So it's a tons of things available online for you by Google and JetBrains. So this was it for the video. I hope you have got an idea what Android Studio and Kotlin are, and you are ready for Android study jams. So let's meet in Android study jams and have a bit of fun. Happy Android. Thank you and have a nice day.